could flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and I know there is a lot of to the people of Florida, and in particular the people of the Tampa region. We urge you to take this storm seriously.
Flood.
I mean, she's attacking the governor of a state that's about to get lashed with one of the most historic hurricanes we've ever seen. Is she crazy? He did not ignore her call.
She was talking, just to be clear, she was talking broadly about the politicization of the storms.
I think she was talking about Ron DeSantis. He did not ignore her call. And in fact, according to what I've read tonight, he actually spoke to the president of the United States.
He did speak with President Biden.
And he has said time and again that he and the federal government are working well together. So who here is politicizing this?
Yeah, I hate to agree with Scott on anything, but I agree. I agree in this case.
I actually agree with you that there's too much disinformation, misinformation, or things that are not factual swirling about the hurricane. I actually think the facts are bad enough. When the storm came ashore, Biden was at the beach and Harris was raising money. And that was on September 26th. On September 27th, we had devastation in North Carolina. It wasn't until October the 2nd that the president mobilized the military, and it wasn't until the 5th that they mobilized 500 search and rescue out of the military. So I think there's two things going on. The immediate impacted people and what they need and what they can get. People need to consult their local officials and governors about that. But there is a conversation to be had here about spending priorities, yes, and also about presidential decision-making, which in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of Republicans, were really, really slow.
I think you're totally right about spending priorities. That's a big conversation. Hopefully one day we will have that conversation.
Have you spoken before with President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
You said you were going to hold those accountable.
Public will hold them accountable. You better than the press hold them accountable.
President Trump was on the ground before him. He was at the beach. Oh my goodness, man. This man. Boy, people, man, I tell you. Wow. You just can't make this up.
Because you know the truth.
And watch how he stumbles out.
Will you plan to speak with former President Trump?
No.
Oh my goodness.
The channel's fully focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so just to state the obvious, it's election season, it's candidate A versus candidate B, and so you got millions of people who have to make a decision. They need to compare and contrast the two candidates, and of course there's a lot of important factors here. And as we know, Donald Trump has some significantly healthy leads on almost all the issues. We've been covering that for months, but the one thing that Donald Trump doesn't have, at least according to the media, according to the official narrative, the one place where Donald Trump supposedly loses is as a human being. That's what they tell you, right? Kamala Harris, she's joy. She's just such a good, caring person. And Donald Trump, he's a selfish, egomaniacal, sociopathic billionaire who only cares about himself. That's what they say, right? Democrats pretend as if they have a monopoly on nice. Yeah, maybe Ellen DeGeneres' version of nice. I'm here to poop on their frickin' parade. Leftoids, to be honest, you don't even win on that issue. And that right there is the topic of this video. Donald Trump's not the bad guy that he's painted to be. In fact, he's a better person than Kamala Harris. Easily. And he continues to prove it, not with his talk, all the blah blah blah, I'm such a good person, let me take money out of this person's pocket and give it to you and then I'll take credit for it. Ooh, I'm such a good person. No, he doesn't need to talk. Donald Trump speaks through his actions, and once again, the Donald proves all the naysayers wrong, not by talking, but by actually doing. Let's have a conversation about that. That's going to be the topic of this video. Let me make the point. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So I guess
all the talking, negative, the hatred that they spew out right now, and Donald Trump still hits the ground running. He still proves them wrong with his actions. But like I tell y'all, misinformation is basically means now something you don't agree with. That's what misinformation means now in the times that we live in. Their definition of misinformation is something they don't agree with. Even when you pull out the receipts, when you go back, look at the history, when you look at the facts, even when they posted on the website, when they went live on air and admitted what just took place. And then when you go back and tell them, well, this happened, oh, this happened. You sent billions over here, you sent billions over here. Billions to illegals, billions to the war, billions to you know. When you talk about Ukraine, but when we call and when we call it out for what it is, it's misinformation.
This video is going to kind of build on to a saga that's been going on this channel forever. It's another segment of Donald Trump is not the demon that they tell you he is. Donald Trump isn't as bad as people make him seem. We've played a million clips to this effect, and now we got another. You know, while Kamala Harris is whining and lying about Ron DeSantis supposedly refusing to cooperate and work with her, while Kamala Harris is politicizing the current crisis going on in the South, while she's trying to get her photo ops and attack the opposing side, Donald Trump's not playing those petty games. He's just actually doing things. We've got this tweet from the Post-Millennial. Reports indicate that President Trump is hosting Hurricane Milton linemen at his Trump Doral resort in Miami for free as they prepare to assist Florida's hurricane victims. Take a look at the clip.
Joshua Hasu. Keith Wales.
Cody Johnson.
Yep.
Ben Williams. Kyle Erickson. Who are you?
And I think the first comment right here below the video pretty much says it all. This is a leader. Thanks, Jay. I totally agree. You know, once again, it builds on the history of Donald Trump. When people are in need, he always shows up. We've covered so many stories of people claiming that Donald Trump helped them in their personal life. There's a story of the Woolman Rink in Central Park back from 1986.
The Woolman Skating Rink in Central Park is open again. The city spent nearly 6 years and $12 million trying to fix it, and then to the rescue, developer Donald Trump. As Tracy Egan tells us now, he accomplished in 3.5 months what the city couldn't do in 6 years.
Mayor Koch and Donald Trump shook hands and came out complimenting each other for reopening Woolman Rink.
Donald, you performed a great public service.
No roadblocks were put up. In fact, it was the exact opposite. We've gotten our permits, our approvals. We've gotten everything as quickly as it could be gotten.
Everything included the city's permission to step in and finish the project, originally scheduled for completion in 1982, but repeatedly delayed.
We executed quickly. We came in 3 months ahead of schedule, and we saved this entire season, which really we're very happy about. And we also came in $750,000 under budget.
The mayor gives Trump full credit for getting the job done.
You know, the list goes on and on and on. When people need him, Trump actually shows up. And so there's this constant conversation in the media, and always these talking heads, these bots come to the same conclusion. Orange man bad. I know, it's a real easy narrative to perpetuate. They love the attention that they get from it, the adoration from the vote blue no matter who, blue ain't on freaks, but it's simply BS. Trump is always there, man. It seems almost as if he's the only guy who actually cares. The only guy in politics who sees something happening and says, hey, we're going to do something about it. And the best part is he gets the job done ahead of schedule and under budget. You know, I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of like the hallmark of a leader. Trump sees an issue, he diagnoses an issue, and then puts it front and center. Meanwhile, these Democrats, to be fair, a lot of these Republicans, they're simply not the same breed. Everything's me, or whatever the party needs to get this week's headline. Whatever our donors need. It's a different kind of thinking, and that's why they hate him so much. You know, there's been a whole scramble around this Hurricane Helene situation. Obviously, it hasn't been so good for Kamala Harris, and the media has been working overtime to protect her. The simple fact is Donald Trump's been outshining Kamala Harris, despite all the media's effort. And again, it's because of that exact thing. Because Trump actually cares and actually shows up.
Shortly after Helene made landfall in the United States on September 26, Joe Biden was at his house in Rehoboth Beach. Vice President Kamala Harris was flying between ritzy California fundraisers, hobnobbing with celebrities. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas was in Los Angeles presiding over an award ceremony. How do you respond to those accusations from J.D. Vance?
Kate, we don't listen to or pay attention to such unproductive and, quite frankly, counterproductive words.
When Hurricane Helene made landfall, Biden was at the beach, literally, and Kamala Harris was flying between ritzy California fundraisers. Alejandro Mayorkas was at an awards ceremony in Los Angeles. And what a pathetic response, by the way. Obviously, it's true when the reaction is like a deer caught in the headlights. They're nowhere to be seen playing politics, doing social events with fans.
You just can't make this up. You just can't make it up, y'all. I got tears. Boy. Oh, man. Y'all finna choke me up in here, man.
See elitists. Meanwhile, Donald Trump first thing got on a plane and went straight to the disaster zone, as if he was president. Oh, it's all a campaign stunt. Yeah, give me a break. You know, people might have fell for that back in 2016, but after experiencing 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency and seeing that, you know, he did the exact same thing throughout his entire presidency, no matter where the crisis was, Trump showed up and got the freaking job done and worked with local officials and even brought other people in, this time bringing in Elon Musk to help so many people in need. You know, considering his track record, I'm gonna say it's more who he is and less political tactics. It's not even freaking close, or at least it shouldn't be. And in terms of the comparison, it's obvious what the truth is, despite, you know, Donald Trump's bombastic attitude, despite the fact that he's a little bit rough on the edges, he's objectively just a better person. And on so many of these issues, he's just on the right side of history. He's more caring and compassionate than all these Democrats who keep going on about how caring and compassionate they are. Most of what they warn you about with him is pure projection. That's actually them. And I've been saying that for years. I mean, it's so clear. Just look at the most important issues. Donald Trump and Elon Musk vow to defend free speech as the left endorses censorship. And again, obviously there's a track record there. We can see that with Elon Musk's work on the X.com platform. You got one side, that's the Trump/Elon side, fighting for free speech, essentially fighting for your rights. And you got the other side, literally arguing for the exact opposite. I mean, Hillary Clinton just the other day was talking about getting rid of Section 230, not to enable free speech, as some people would argue, but to enable the government to take back control over the public conversation.
We should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave, platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content.
This is why, a lot of us content creators, man, a lot of independent media, a lot of us, almost, 70, 80% of us, we this is one reason why we don't want them in. And that it's too big to rig. Because of nutcases like this, man. And we've already seen Kamala come out and say she wants to take X down. She wants Elon Musk out of there. So much for free speech. Our rights. It's a disgrace, man. And I've talked to a lot of content creators, man, that fear this is one reason why we don't reside with this party, man. And we encourage all you guys to go out and vote, register, vote. But they always talk about, Trump is going to take our rights away. He's going to take your rights away. He's going to be a dictator. Project 2025. And now you see everything has backfired. You see everything has hit the fan.
We lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
And of course, we know Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's history on the issue. I might as well play the clips again. I mean, it gets repetitive, but it's election season. It's important that people are bombarded with these clips.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
If you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
You got one side, that's the Trump-Elon side, that's fighting for your First Amendment rights, and you got the other side, where they're essentially wannabe communist tyrants. They're freaking Soviet-style communists. They want to control information. All information that's detrimental to them is misinformation, dangerous conspiracy theories that need to be snuffed. Those are not good people. Those are wannabe petty tyrants. Exactly what they tell you Donald Trump is. It's all a complete farce, and even on the issues where Democrats grandstand as the better people, let's take the border for instance, no human being is illegal, Donald Trump is a horrible, deplorable racist. Even on those issues where they grandstand and pretend to be the good guy or the good person, they're not. They're funneling children into human smuggling rings. Hello? Frickin' wake up. And they're completely betraying the American taxpayer. Donald Trump used federal tax dollars to enforce American laws and protect American workers. Democrats are using federal tax dollars to essentially reward illegal migrants. Here's a free cell phone. Here's a debit card, a free house, and a bus straight to New York City. All on your dime. They're not the good guys. They're just loud. That's pretty much it. Anyways, I gotta wrap this video up.
We the people come last. It's just sick, man. We the people come last. No matter which way you put it. It's proven time after time after time again. You just can't make this up, man. We encourage all you guys to go out and vote. Thank y'all for stopping by. Huge shout out to Liberal Hive Mind. You just can't make this up, man. I love y'all. God bless y'all and your families. And I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.